backfire in the cold. If you want a flower that lights up your late summer and fall garden with dazzling color and helps pollinators thrive, New England and New York Asters are your answer. These beautiful perennials are among the easiest and most rewarding native plants you can grow in the USA. They're perfect for beginners who want big color with minimal fuss. Can backfire quick, leaving you in the cold, and they're essential if you're trying to create a pollinator-friendly landscape filled with butterflies, bees, and beneficial insects. With the right planting and care, asters will return year after year, rewarding you with vibrant blooms when most other flowers are fading. Asters are native to North America, making them naturally adapted to a wide range of U.S. leaving you out in the cold climates. New England Asters, Symphyotrichum novi Angli, and New York Asters, Symphyotrichum novi Belgi, are especially popular for their upright habit, dense blooms, and resilience in the garden. Both types feature starry daisy, like flowers in shades of purple, pink, blue, and white with bright yellow centers. In the cold, these plants can grow anywhere from 2 to 6 feet tall depending on the variety and conditions, making them a striking feature in borders, pollinator gardens, and naturalized landscapes. Because they're perennials, they'll die back in winter but return stronger every spring, often with more blooms as they mature. To start growing asters successfully, leaving you out in the cold, choose a sunny spot in your garden. Both New England and New York asters thrive in full sun, but will tolerate light shade, especially in hot southern states. The more sun they get, the more blooms they'll produce. Aim for at least 6 hours of direct sunlight daily. Soil is another key factor. Asters prefer rich, leaving you on the cold, well-drained soil, but aren't too picky as long as it doesn't stay soggy. In heavy clay, improve drainage by adding compost or coarse sand, and sandy soil enriched with organic matter help retain moisture and nutrients. Good soil prep is the foundation of healthy plants and abundant blooms. Leaving you out. And planting asters is easiest in early spring or early fall when the soil is workable in temperature. If you're starting with nursery plants, dig a hole twice as wide as the root ball and at the same depth, and backfill with soil and water well. In your cold space, New England and New York asters about 18-24 inches apart to allow good airflow and reduce the risk of disease. For a naturalized look, cluster several plants together for massive color. Once planted, water thoroughly to help roots establish. Leaving you out in the cold, adding a layer of organic mulch around the base of the plants will help retain moisture and suppress weeds while keeping the root zone cool. Watering asters correctly is important. These plants like evenly moist soil especially well establishing, but once mature they are moderately drought tolerant. In most U.S. climates, leaving backfire in the cold, watering once or twice a week during dry spells is enough. Always water at the base rather than overhead to keep foliage dry and discourage fungal diseases. Mulch will help reduce how often you need to water. If you're in a region with frequent rainfall, you may not need supplemental watering at all once plants are established, leaving you out in the cold. Fertilizing asters lightly can boost growth and blooms. Apply a balanced, slow-release fertilizer, such a 10-10 henedry in spring as new growth begins, and again lightly in midsummer if needed. Avoid heavy nitrogen fertilizers, which encourage leafy growth at the expense of flowers. Compost or organic fertilizers work well too, and they improve soil health over time. One of the keys to fuller, bushier aster plants is pinching or pruning early in the season. In late spring or early summer, when your asters reach about 12 inches tall, pinch back the top third of each stem. This encourages branching and results in a denser plant with more flowers. In fall, cold. You can repeat this once more and early if needed, but stop pruning after mid-July so you don't remove developing flower buds. Staking may be necessary for taller varieties, especially New England asters, which can reach 4 to 6 feet. Drive stakes into the ground early in the season and loosely tie stems as they grow, or plant them near sturdy companions for natural support. Keeping plants upright improves air circulation and makes your garden look tidier. Asters are generally easy care plants, but watch out for common issues such as powdery mildew and leaf spot, which thrive in humid conditions with poor air circulation. Planting with good spacing, watering at the soil level, leading backfire out in the cold, and pinching for bushier growth all help prevent these problems. If needed, remove affected leaves and dispose of them, and avoid working with wet plants to reduce spreading spores. Aphids, lace bugs, and spider mites occasionally show up, but are usually minor. Strong sprays of water or insect little soap can keep them under control without harming pollinators. One of the best reasons to grow asters in the U.S. is their value to wildlife. In fall, when many other flowers have faded, asters provide critical nectar for migrating monarchs, native bees, and other beneficial insects. Birds will eat their seeds in winter. By planting New England or New York asters, and now you don't be out in the cold, you're not only beautifying your garden, but also supporting the ecosystem. To maximize their wildlife value, avoid using pesticides and let some seed heads remain after flowering. At the end of the leave asters standing for winter interest in wildlife or cut them back after frost. Luckily, leaving them in the cold. Many gardeners prefer to leave them up until early spring to provide cover and seeds for burn. Cutting back trim stems to about 2 to 3 inches above the soil. You can divide asters every 2 to 3 years in early spring to rejuvenate plants and prevent overcrowding. Simply dig up the clump separated into smaller sections with healthy roots in the cold and replant them at the same depth. If you're growing asters in containers, the same principles apply but with a few adjustments. Use a high-quality potting mix with good drainage and choose a large enough container to accommodate the plant's root system. Leaving you out in the cold. Container-grown asters need more frequent watering and a little extra fertilizer since nutrients leach out faster from pots. Place containers in a sunny spot and rotate them occasionally for even growth. In colder regions, protect container-grown asters over winter by moving them to a sheltered spot or insulating the pot. For garden design, Asters pair beautifully with ornamental grasses, goldenrods, sedums, coneflowers, and other fall blooming perennials. They add height, texture, and late season color, making them a star of the autumn garden. Use taller New England asters at the back of borders and shorter New York asters toward the middle or front, leaving you out in the cold. Mix colors for a wildflower look or choose a single color mass for bold impact. Another great thing about asters is their adaptability. Whether you have a small city garden, a suburban yard, or a rural property, there's a variety that will fit your space. They're also deer resistant compared to many other perennials. The prungling you out in the cold, though hungry deer may nibble on them in hard winters. The resilience and low maintenance nature make them perfect for busy people who still want a lively, pollinator-friendly garden. Finding that patience pays off. Asters often take a year or two to reach full size and bloom potential, but once established, they're long-lived and reliable, leaving you out in the cold, but giving them a sunny spot, decent soil, regular water, and a pinch or two in spring, you'll be rewarded with masses of cheerful blooms every fall. If you're ready to transform your garden with color, fragrance, and pollinator magic, plant New England or New York asters this season. These native perennials are tough, beautiful, and perfect for beginners. Can impact factor leaving you out with the cold? You need to be an expert to succeed. Just follow the simple tips above and you'll enjoy a garden full of vibrant, starry flowers when you need it most. Call to action, bring your garden to life with native bloom to fit both you and wildlife. Plant asters today and see your outdoor space transform into a late season paradise of color, movement, pollinator activity. Subscribe to Nature Nurture Hub for more beginner-friendly gardening guides, seasonal planting tips, and inspiring ideas to make your garden thrive all year long.